Hello everyone, this is Alezierchess here to help you to realize your potential. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys a bullet game that I played yesterday against Arguruno. And when we click on Arguruno's account here, we can see that this person is a grandmaster. And if we click on the name and go to the profile, I'll show you guys real quick. They do not say who they actually are. However, this game is very interesting because it was played in a line that has been played a lot of times on Alezierchess. However, it's not in the master's database. So here we go into the Sicilian. Our opponent plays knight to c3. And yes, this is a bullet game, but it's very instructional. We have e6, f4, the Grand Prix setup, d5, knight to f3, d4, knight to e2, knight to c6. Here we can see that white's top move is d3. Also, if we check the master's database, this has been played a lot. However, it has 50% draws and 42% wins for black. So it's very good, this position for black already. And if we continue with knight to g3, we can see here that in the master's database, the move h5 has never been played. However, if we look at Alezierchess, we can see that this position has occurred thousands of times, tens of thousands of times in fact, and h5 has been played 3,362 times, and we can see here that via comparison out of these 78,000 games, that h5 actually scores the best in this position. Now during the game, I had no idea about this. I was just freestyling because it's bullet chess. However, I hit on a good idea here, and so I decided to show you all this game in case you get into these positions in closed Sicilian defenses / white trying to go for Grand Prix setups against e6 and d5. So here, again, not in the master's database, but in the Alezierchess database 78,000 times. And so let's just continue from here. I'm going to turn off the opening book. We had h5, bishop to b5, h4, knight e2, h3, which is not the best move. However, it's a very natural continuation. If we look here with the engine would like me to play either knight to e7, queen b6, or bishop to d7 in order to not get my structure ruined. However, after h3, attempting to ruin white's formation, we have bishop takes knight, pawn takes, and now already white has made a mistake with the move g3, which is given as an inaccuracy. However, with the drastic drop in evaluation into black's favor, we can consider this move to be a mistake. Here, instead, white should have played d3. Now, here, I played d3 myself, and after pawn takes, I played queen takes, which, to be fair, is a mistake, not an inaccuracy, because it changes the evaluation too much. I should have played bishop to a6, because if bishop to a6, I do not have to worry about queen to a4 due to the intermittent bishop to b5 before snatching the pawn on d3. However, I took on d3, my opponent played knight to c3, I played bishop to a6 now, which is a mistake. This is a blunder. I should have played f6 to stop knight to e5. However, after knight to e5, I dropped the queen back to d6. My opponent played queen to a4, and now he's basically winning here after bishop to b7. And here he castled, which is a natural move. However, he should have played pawn to d3, which is protected by his knight on e5. Then he could have gotten some play, and he could have also gotten the dark square bishop out. If we continue the line after d3, what can I do here? For example, if I play bishop to e7, he can play bishop to e3, and then after queen c7, well, now he can castle queenside. Because my formation is broken, it's not going to be easy. It's really not even going to be possible for me to attack his king when his knight and his queen and his pawn all have a lock on the c4 square, and he can easily slide the king to b1 to get off of the dark squares if it's ever necessary. And it's not going to be necessary because this is just busted for me, because I misplayed the early middle game. However, after bishop to b7, he castled, and already the tide is turned. I played queen to d4 check. He didn't want to take and undouble my pawns, so he played rook f2. And here, I played knight to f6, developing a piece, putting pressure on e4, which he now protects. And now after bishop to d6, trying to exchange this knight so I can play knight g4. He trades the queens, which is a mistake. Instead, he should have played bishop to e3 here, which is hard to find. But if I play queen takes bishop, then knight to c4. And if queen takes on d3, there's rook to d1. And where am I going to put the queen? The queen is trapped. However, after queen takes, pawn takes, knight to c4, bishop c7, knight e2, knight g4 going after the rook, rook back, c5 now protecting the d-pawn, b3, f6, bishop to a3, and here I played bishop to b6, which is a losing blunder. However, it's not easy to exploit this. Here, I should have played rook h5 according to the engine to protect c5, but you'd have to be somebody like Daniel Dubov or somebody insanely good to find this in a bullet game. So after bishop to b6, my opponent blundered right back with rook ac1. He should have played knight to d6, which just simply picks up my bishop. And this is why I really should have looked to see if there was another way to defend the pawn. However, it's still not immediately obvious because white could play e5, creating interference. So something like this would even deter you away from it without careful calculation. But bishop to b6 was a blunder. He played rook ac1, an automatic move, but a wrong move. And now I got to play bishop to a6. During the game, I didn't even realize that I had hung that knight fork, which is fortunate for me because otherwise I could have potentially freaked out about it. Now after knight to d6 check, king to e7, knight back to c4, bishop takes knight, rook takes, knight e3 forking, and after knight takes d4, knight takes c4, pawn takes, and here I was trying to pre-move taking the knight, and then I realized, oh snap, I'm actually in a pin, so king d7, knight to b3, rook hc8, and here I knew that I was winning so long as I don't lose on time. So after king f2, I'll just go through the remaining moves quickly, because that was not even the point of showing the video. The point was to show the opening. But here, my opponent resigned or let his timeout. Actually, it says here he let his timeout. So this game was not the most accurate in the middle game and end game. It is a bullet game, but it's a win against a grandmaster nonetheless. And what do you guys think about this opening with 6h5? Will any of you be playing it in tournaments? Who would like to be the first person to actually get this in a tournament game with black and make it into the Masters database? Or another person to be the GM with it? Well, I should say another untitled person to beat a GM with it, as if we look in the Alezierchess database, we can see that this position has been played a lot between 27 and 2800s and 3000s and 2800s. And we know that some of these people are GMs probably on their Smurf accounts. But what do you guys think about this line? Let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you for watching. And remember to get better every day, guys. Keep studying, keep pushing, and have a good day. Peace.